All right, party people in the place to be, vandals, and everybody else out there looking in the darkness. This is a brand new episode of How'd We Get Here? And this is a pretty fun new episode of Hot Flash. And I gotta say, man, this is Joe Appreciation Day. Like we gotta W's in the chat for Joe, man. Like he did like that amazing background that you're looking at. And he's actually been like a very clever boy behind the scenes, and he's got some pretty cool news that we're going to be dropping on you a little later tonight, which kind of coincides with two of the books that we're going to be talking about. And yeah, Joe, what are the books we're going to be talking about, brother?
We're going to be talking about Space Ghost by David Pepose from Dynamite Comics. We'll also be talking about Bear, Pirate, Viking, Queen from Image Comics. That's a Sean Lewis joint. And we're going to be talking about Precious Metal, one of my most anticipated books since reading Little Bird. It's in the Little Bird universe, so this is like the follow-up to Little Bird, which I love, so I'm really hyped for this book.
Straight
by
up.
Darcy Van Poelgeest.
I love the title for this video, man. It's just random nouns like up there. Precious Metal, Space Ghost, Bear, Pirate, Viking, Queen. Like it's like sounds like somebody with Tourette's going off for a second.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, so, Chase in the chats. How's it going, Chase?
Hell yeah, man. How's it going, brother?
Yeah.
So you got a check in at all, Joe?
I've got a small check in. So I'm finished up the second volume of Phil Hester's The Wretch. It was a fun read. So I got the volumes 1 and 2 in the can for that. Picked up something came in. Got this. This is something Johnny recommended to me about a year, maybe a little more than a year ago.
No, it was probably around last Christmas. Around Christmas time was when I found and read like that in Joyama and
The Kings of Nowhere. So, and I got volume 2 ordered. That's coming in another order that should be coming in. So, yeah, we'll probably end up doing a
pretty fun hardcore crime drama, like with some anthropomorphic stuff popping off.
Yeah, man, that's one I think that's Johnny's. I think you were saying we'll probably kick it off with Space Ghost once we get to the 3 books.
Yeah.
One other thing I didn't finish, but I watched Boy Kills World.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Did you watch it all? I only watched the first half because I was doing other stuff, and I put it on after Pat went to bed. I wanted to check out the beginning and stuff, and yeah,
it's cool. I kind of had the same problem with it that I had with Monkey Man.
Yeah.
I liked it. This one better than Monkey Man a little bit.
Quite a bit. The beginning is really good. I like
the fights are sick, man, and I love the excess gore. Like it's really more gory than it really needs to be. It's kind of hobo with the shotgun-ish like that, but like that's the 2 films that kind of reminds me of Guns Akimbo and Hobo with the Shotgun.
Yeah.
It's nowhere near as good as either of them in my opinion, though. It comes close, but like Bill Skarsgård is a G though. Like I'm kind of legit becoming a fan of his. Like he looked good in that film. He was rocking the shit like Matt Damon.
Yeah, man. We're coming live to you from the gates of hell this episode.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's Flash. We're keeping the heat on tonight.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's a theme. It goes with the segment. One thing I loved right from the beginning of the movie was who the narrator is, who does the narration of his voice.
Yeah, it's Archer, right?
John that's why I was telling Fulci, the guy who voices Archer and Bob from Bob's Burger, he does the narration, the voice, because Bill Skarsgård's character is a deaf mute. So so all the narration is him, like he talks in his head. So it adds a little kind of a wacky element to it that I really enjoyed. Yeah.
It's worth a rent, in my opinion, Chase. I really do think it's worth a rent.
Yeah, like Crank, I'd say a little bit, maybe a little some. Yeah, definitely in that
yeah, I'd say this one, like, because it's got the little dude from the Raid, it kind of like goes like more like the Raid with the fights and like especially the last fight, man. It's totally like the last fight in the first Raid movie, like
Yeah,
one against the same little dude. Oh, you didn't? Okay, but yeah,
yeah.
my,
So
you shit a
and
little bit like an idiot.
oh, whatever. I mean, I enjoyed the first. Maybe I watched 3/4 of it. Anyway, I had to leave to go do something, so I'll get back to it. I have 48 hours, so.
Yeah, and I watched The Fall Guy too, which was pretty
Oh, that's
okay.
true. Crazy. Yeah, that came out after 2 weeks of or 3 weeks of being in theaters because it just didn't perform anywhere near as well as they were hoping. So I guess they want to try to,
Recoup that money with some rentals.
yeah, with some rentals while it's still like in the zeitgeist, right?
Dude, it's worth the rent. I had a ball watching it, man. Like
Yeah.
I for as a goofy like Hollywood comedy, like
Mhm.
it was pretty good, man. And I thought Ryan Gosling kind of played up to some of his older characters, but like it was cool because this time like he could actually get shit done. He wasn't just a bumbling idiot, even though that was a part of his character. I
Yeah.
kind of thought that was cool that they actually let him be kind of tough in this
Mm,
one. So
mm.
too bad nobody went and saw it, man. Like,
Well, I guess it had a decent opening weekend, but the fall off after the second weekend, I guess, was dramatic. So yeah,
but it's for rent, man. And like if you wanted to see it but didn't want to go to the theaters, I understand that. But like you can see it now at home and
yeah.
like have yourself some fun, man. Him and Aaron Taylor Johnson are idiots together, man.
Aaron Taylor Johnson's in it.
Yeah, he's like the movie star that like he's like the stuntman
Ah,
for.
okay. I didn't know that. Oh shit.
Which is
I
funny
like
because
him.
like Aaron Taylor Johnson's kind of always telling uh Ryan Gosling that he's not as hot as he is and stuff like that. So it had to be a pretty fun role to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like him. He was good in Bullet
Bullet
Train.
Train,
So
yeah.
yeah, I really liked him. And his I don't think he's ever done a bad movie. So
Oh, I'm actually hella looking forward to watching that Spider-Man movie, the Craven now.
Craven, yeah,
Yeah.
Craven the Hunter. Mm, yeah. Anything else you got? Did you
No, that's pretty much all
pretty
I
much it?
got, man.
Cool.
Yeah, I've just been reading for the show. Oh, I did read some stuff, but I'll talk about it probably tomorrow morning. I don't know because we got another show tomorrow.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah, that's true. I don't think I loaded the. Anyway, I made a banner for it, but I don't think I loaded it.
Yeah, I didn't make the link for it yet either. But yeah, we're doing a Sunday spank tomorrow. Kind of,
Yeah, yeah.
but like getting right into it, man. We're gonna be talking about Space Ghost by
Space Ghost.
David Pepose and with really, really fun art by Jonathan Lau. I'm not familiar with him, but like he nailed it, man. This book
Yeah,
is gorgeous. This book,
yeah,
like when they introduce Space Ghost, bah, that is so gangster, man. Like that is a book buying image right there, dude. Like totally just talk you into it.
yeah.
And I kind of like what Pepose is doing here. I mean, like I don't really know too much about Space Ghost lore. It was kind of already an old cartoon by the time I was a kid. I'm way more familiar with Coast to Coast, which is kind of like a spoof show of it. But like, if you're like me and a fan of that, like, don't worry, man. Brack shows up. Like Brack's in the house. So like, and
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to see him like be so villainous. And yeah, this is kind of like I guess the Nolan version of Space Ghost a little bit
Mm,
because like it starts out pretty brutal. Like Jan and Jace, the twins,
yeah,
like you straight up see their dad get smoked and shit, and like they
yeah.
gotta
By that
like
mercenary.
yeah, he straight gives Jan like a little Men in Black gun and shit,
Yeah, the
like
cricket, little cricket.
and she has a pretty cool back and forth with Brack about it about using blasters with spotty aim. Like Propose's wordplay is on point here. I loved his characterizations. I thought that like that was
Mhm,
pretty fun. That like he really gave Jace or Jan like a pretty cool character. She's like a total little badass in this book.
mhm. Yeah, I'm I'm vaguely familiar with the character. I used to watch the cartoons whenever they played on occasion on I don't know if it was Saturday mornings or after school. Maybe it was in syndication or whatever. But and I always thought it was really cool when I was a kid. And it's a Hanna Barbera property that was created in the '60s for CBS, I believe, or NBC, one or the other. I don't know who Hanna Barbera was creating shows for at the time.
Probably for all of them, whoever paid the most, you know what I
Most,
mean?
yeah.
I think they had stuff on all channels though, kind of.
Yeah, so it's a great, great, great book. I had like no expectations. It's not like a character that I gravitate to or I'm a huge fan of. So when David sent us a review copy of this, like I had no expectations, and after I was done reading it, I was like, "Holy fuck, man! This was a really fun book." Like
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna follow up. I'm getting the trade for this for Shizzle, man. Like,
yeah, it came out 2 weeks ago, so I think issue 2 should be dropping in 2 weeks from now. So this issue is on shelves at the moment. It just came out a couple weeks ago, and like Johnny was saying, the art is fantastic, and it makes me think of, I don't know if you ever read any continuity books. The uh, uh, Neil, what's his name? Fuck, I can't think of his first name. He's a fucking legend in comics. Drill
Neil
Batman. Yeah.
Neil Adams?
Neil Adams. Yeah. Neil Adams. Yeah. That's it. Neil Adams imprint from the late 80s, early 90s continuity. It has that vibe like of a continuity book. I find the aesthetic, the art, it's really cool. So it definitely made me go back to like Megalith, Armor book, all these like crazy books that came out on continuity back in the days. So yeah. So it has a bit of that throwback style to like the early 80s, I'd say, maybe late 80s, just before the 90s kicked in there. It has kind of that feel to it. And I really love the art in it. Little like Brayfogle a little bit, the way he draws the muscles and shit. Like, so I was really like loving the art on that.
Yeah, I mean, like he's got like a new style to it, but like you can
Yeah,
see that he's got the love for the classic aesthetic as well, man.
yeah,
Like he kind of merges the two together, and yeah, like Jonathan Lau, never heard of him, but like, man, I'm impressed, bro. Like,
mm, yeah.
you made it.
Really, really good stuff. This is a Dynamite book, so if you're looking for your shop, you want to order it. It came out on Dynamite Comics. So yeah, and the coloring's on point. So Andrew Dalhouse does a great job. Taylor Esposito does the lettering, and I think
Yeah,
there
he's
might
always
be,
good.
yeah, I think there might be 4 or 5 different variants by Jay Lee. Uh, who else did some? Let's see, I have it right here. I'll go check real quick. I know Jay Lee did one. Let's see. Jay Lee, Francisco Matina. I think he does the main covers.
This A cover is gorgeous, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's Francisco Mantina. He does all the A covers, I think. Bjorn Behrens does some variants. Michael Cho and June Chung does some of the other variant covers for it. So you have 5 different covers to pick from.
but I mean, I give this a solid cop, man. Like, this is
Yeah,
more fun than I was like ever expecting. And like, I love David's work, you know what I mean? But like, wasn't really sure what to expect out of like a licensed book like this. But god damn, I had a blast with it, man. I'm really happy we got a hold of this.
yeah. Thanks to David. Thank you for sending us review copies for your books. We love your work, and this one's no different, man. Hit it out of the park. The
Well,
Michael Cho, that's the one where it's like it's in the cartoon style, right? Chase, I'm pretty sure that's the one where he's punching at the screen and it's in the cartoon style. That's a
yeah,
pretty cool cover.
that
Yeah,
sounds like Cho's art.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's a classic. But yeah, I mean, if you have an affinity for the character, if you're brand new to him, I think that this would be a pretty fun book to get into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And David's doing great work, man. Like doing some work over at Marvel, going off doing some work over at, was it Vault? His the
I
devil.
know
What was it again? That's a long title too. I was
the devil that
forgetting.
wears my face. That's a
Face,
Mad
yeah.
Cave, right?
Oh,
Mad Cave.
Mad Cave. The Mad Cave. Okay, that's a Mad Cave
Yeah,
book.
Mad
That's
Cave
one.
is popping off big right now, man.
That,
Mad Cave's got like all kinds of
yeah,
good guys working for him.
that's the one he did with Alex Cormack. That's a great looking book as well. I think he's still working on his Punisher over at Marvel. He did what, Savage Avengers before that. I think he did
Oh,
a Moon Knight mini
yeah,
series.
his Moon Knight miniseries was legit, man. I
Mhm.
liked it a lot better than the main Moon Knight series that's running right now.
Yeah, so David's popping off, man. It's going to be a big year for him.
Yeah, man, and like definitely check this Space Ghost book out, man. It gets a big recommendation.
it's nice to see good things happen to good people. So all the props to David, man. He's well deserved.
All right, man, you ready to keep trucking?
Let's keep it moving, man.
This one, man, I kind of expected this to be a silly book with the name, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
this goes hard. This book's fucking hard, man.
Oh
Like
yeah.
Sean Lewis goes like this book is kind of brutal, man. I like this a lot. I didn't expect it. Like this is kind of like the insights of a pirate and like just the tale of don't be a greedy fuck. Like I love stories like this though, and Sean
Mhm.
like has a lot of fun going there. And just this opening page of the sharks just like really sets the tone really cool. And it's about this dude, man, and like he keeps kind of going through crews because he's a kind of a reckless pirate.
Yeah.
And
He was
one of
abandoned by the British, whatever you call it, the fleet, kind of left to his own devices. So then he became a pirate to be able to fend for himself.
And with one of his ships getting sunk, he befriends this bear. Like he kind of gets stuck on an island, and this bear just rolls with him from then on, man. Rides on the ships with him. And it kind of like tells him like when he's messing up, even though he doesn't listen to the bear, which I think is pretty cool. But like the you get like this really cool, like this first issue is 60 pages long, so it's
Yeah.
like a full little graphic novel. So you get
Yeah.
this whole adventure of this guy, and like you get this cool pirate scene where like they raid this British ship,
Hmm.
and like how like their plan works and stuff, and like it's really articulate, it's really well done. I love the way they did this naval battle in it. Like
Beautiful.
yeah, dude, this book was a complete surprise for me as well because with the title, I didn't really know what to expect, but like you
Hmm.
really get this kind of gritty, just
Yeah.
terrifying historic adventure of this um pirate, you know what I mean, and his
Hmm.
bear.
Yeah.
And
This is going to be a 3-issue series, and I think they're all going to be about 60 pages each, every issue. And like Johnny was saying, I normally don't like. I'm not a big pirate fan, so when I heard like bear, pirate, Viking, queen, I was kind of like the pirate, kind of I don't know, you know. And after reading it, I was like, the art drew me in right away. Like when I saw the art for it, I was like, okay, this definitely appeals to me visually. Like it's beautiful, like all the watercolors with the inks and everything. Fantastic book. Stylistically, the mood, the tone, on point. I love it. I love it. If you like that kind of, it really sets the mood in the atmosphere. It elevates the story. It really does. Like the art helps tell the story, like, and just nails every little part home. You know, like
and
where
then you
he's,
get the
yeah,
splashes like
the
this, man,
layouts. Yeah.
during the battle scene, like, oh
Mhm.
my god. Like and yeah, I see what you mean. Like like when they show the boat on fire and like you kind of just see the people kind of almost formless, like they're like
Mm.
yeah, like
Yeah, it's beautiful. And that's Jonathan Marks
Barravecchia.
Barravecchia. Yeah, he does the art and lettering. So it's a 2-man crew, man. It's hard to sell a ship with a 2-man crew, but they do a fantastic job of telling the story and of this one. And I was pleasantly surprised by this one as well. Like these first 2 books aren't books I would normally, if I saw them on the shelf, I wouldn't really be like, oh, you know, what I know David's work, so like right there, I'd be like, okay, I'd give it a chance. And I've read some of Sean Lewis's other stuff, and I really loved it, like Above Snakes. I read that. What was that, last year?
Yeah, I
From
believe so.
2022, it made like my best of year, end of year list of 2022. So I really loved that book. What else did he do? He did Bliss before that I read. We read what was the one we read for the show, Johnny?
Clan Killers.
Clan Killers. That's it. We did that one a
He's
while
done
back.
Coyotes, he's done
Mhm.
Thumbs, he's done The Few. I mean, Sean Lewis is popping off. He's done a lot
Uh,
of stuff.
he's like pretty much putting together the whole Todd McFarlane Spawn universe. He's wrote King Spawn. He's gone on to write Scorch. Monolith is out at the moment. I think issue 1 just dropped this week. Is telling, it's a 3-issue series telling the origins of the Hulk Spawn, or anyway, the big Hulking Spawn character. Anyway, it's the story of that character. So I mean, I'm not a Spawn fan, and when I saw Sean Lewis was writing King Spawn, I picked up let's say the first arc, like the first 5 issues, just to give it a try because Sean was writing it. So
Which
You
kind
know,
of leads to some exciting news that we have, right, Joe? I figured it's only proper that you announce it since you set it up.
yeah. So in where is it? Right here. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Um, June 11th, we're gonna have Sean Lewis on the show. He's gonna come on and talk to us about his work, comics in general, and you know how we are. So we might even, who knows, we might even barely talk about comics. You never know. So
Yeah. It came highly recommended though from a
yep,
couple people, so we're
yeah,
big fans, man. I've liked him for years.
yep.
So yeah, it's gonna be a really exciting interview, and like, yeah, he's probably gonna be like the most famous guy we've had on so far yet.
They're all famous in my book.
Yeah, no, I'm not. It's not a competition. We're not
No, I'm just
a show, but like,
I'm teasing. I'm just teasing. Yeah. So yeah. So like pleasantly so far the two. That's why when I got these books, that's what I was telling Johnny because we don't like doing reviews for to say stuff like we don't like things. So like when we do these hot flashes, we try to do it on more recent books that we've picked up that we've enjoyed. So yeah, so it's just awesome to be able to pick up a few books because to be honest, it's been a little bit of a dry spell the last couple of years. Johnny and I have found we the books haven't really been speaking to us that much. So it's a really nice to get a few newer books that that kind of scratch that itch for us.
yeah, and like I'm really excited to see where this goes because like I don't think we've met one of our key characters that are in the name. Like we have a Viking in this book, but like I don't think you could call him a queen. So I'm really excited to
Mhm.
actually meet the Viking queen that's in the title. So got me really excited to see where this book goes with issue 2.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's all about stealing the queen's treasure too, right? The Queen of England.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
anyway, that's the queen.
that's the cool thing is that this all got happened. The bad shit happens because the pirate gets too greedy. He literally
Mhm.
robbed the bank boat and like was getting
Which
away with
led
it.
which led to the Viking making an appearance, and now this it's all a chain reaction, right? From his greed creates this chain reaction of events that's gonna be
And
this
him not
epic
listening to
story.
the bear. The bear told him don't do that shit. And like
Yeah. 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 So it's pretty cool. There's some like good action at the end there with
throughout the whole book. I
yeah.
mean, it
But I
popped
mean at the
off.
end it gets pretty how would you
Yeah.
say
It
pretty
gets
gory actually, you know?
yeah, pretty
Yeah,
gory with the way
pretty
the
brutal
Viking fights because he like I don't have any of the panels, but he legit like starts ripping boards off of the boat and
yeah,
he's like beating people to death with them with
with
the nailed boards.
floorboards, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's gangster. Like this book
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
hard, dude. Like
Yeah,
it,
it does.
it's
It's pretty
badass.
brutal. Pretty fucking brutal. So yeah, so let's do that one more time. So yeah, so June 11th, 8 p.m. East 7 Central. Yeah, Sean Lewis. So if you're a fan of his work, we'll have him on the show. You can come ask him questions in the chats, and you know, it should be a good time. All right.
And yeah, highly recommend this book. Definitely check it out at some point, man. Like
Hmm.
have
Hmm.
a good fun read, especially if you kind of like some historical horror. Like I don't know what else to call it. And it's not a proper horror, but like it definitely falls in there, kind of like a movie like
Yeah.
what's it, Valhalla Rising, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like it's just so gory and stuff that like you can't call it anything but like a
So
horror.
I put it up on the screen one more time because when it first came out, we kept screwing up the title. Well, just the order, I guess. So, Bear, Pirate, Viking, Queen is the book by Sean Lewis and Jonathan Marks
Barravecchia.
Barravecchia. There you go. By Image Comics. All right.
All right. And last but not least, man, we're talking about something that like is so cool, man, because I loved the first book, and I don't even know if
Mhm.
this really is a follow up because so far this
It's
is its own book. Like I don't.
well, it's a prequel. It happens 35 years before the events that took place in Little Bird.
Yeah, and this is all about Max, and Max is kind of um
He makes an
I
appearance in the Little Bird book.
yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, his story's almost kind of like the pirates in the book that we just read, man. He should have cut and run when he had a chance, but like, I don't know. I'm kind of happy he didn't because this story is man, it's gangster, dude. Like this is pretty cool. Crime noir science fiction
Mhm.
to the bone. Plus, it's got
Mhm.
some really neat gore to it as well. Like
Or surrealism as well. There's like these weird dream sequences that get really really trippy and stuff. So I mean, this book has it all. The art is fantastic. Ian Bertram outdoes himself. Fantastic job on the art. Teamed up with Matt Hollingsworth for the colors, and Matt Hollingsworth is one of my favorite colorists. Like, I mean, I love his work. If anyone's read Batman Yellow, he's the one who colors Tim Sale's inks on that, and beautiful book. If you want beautiful art, go pick up Batman Yellow as well with Matt Hollingsworth and Tim Sales. Like, oof.
And the creatures, man, and the set designs in this
Yeah.
book, like, look at that thing,
Fantastic.
like, oh
Yeah.
my, and like oh my god, like, this is just such a cool sci-fi book to look at. It really
Mhm.
reminds me of some of my favorite European shit. Like I
Yeah.
said, like, I think Ian Bertram and Hollingsworth are totally on some Inky Bilal stuff in some of this book, because like some of these images like really reminded me of the Nico Paul trilogy, which is one of my favorite graphic novels ever. So anything that kind of invokes that like gets mad props. But Little Bird had a bunch of that in it too, with the little baby angels and shit. Like,
Yeah, and Darcy Van Poelgeest, I was following him, and he posted a while back like they were doing a follow up called Precious Metal, and I was super hyped. And it got delayed because they wanted to make sure they did this book right. They wanted to put the time into it that it deserved, that they felt it deserved to, because Little Bird was a very good book, and they want to make sure that they delivered a book just as good, if not better, than the first one, right? And this is another 60-page book. It's going to be 6 issues. I don't know if all 6 issues are going to be 60 pages, but if they are, holy moly, you're getting 6 issues of a 60-page book, which is, you get a whole lot of story in per issue. So I mean, great. Like Johnny said, man, it's a great first issue. Visually, it just delivers. Like, oof.
and it's neat because it's kind of a crime story you've seen before. Like
Yeah.
Max is like a snatch and grab guy who's on a job, and the thing that he's supposed to get is like the hottest thing in the city. But the way that it's presented here, with it's being like this kind of almost Akira level beings going on, like as part of the job. Like, oh man, I really like the way that it's being portrayed here, and like the
Mhm.
art style. Like,
Yeah, yeah. The colors are great. Like the night scenes, the day scenes, the mood set perfectly. I mean, this book is also, like, if you've read Little Bird, it's pretty brutal. It gets pretty gruesome. You're gonna see a lot of blood. There's gonna be some graphic material, graphic scenes in it. So I mean, it checks all the boxes for me, man. I love this book visually. Love the story. Darcy definitely
I
has a little bit of a twisted sensibility to him. If you've read Little Bird, and so far this first issue, it still has that same.
I think of Ian as a horror artist, man, because the first time I ever saw him was in House of Penance, and ever
Yes.
since then, like, and I all of his book after that have been really bloody. Like, I know
Mhm,
that like these are both technically sci-fi, but like, yeah, he is above all, in my opinion, like a really good horror artist, whether he wants to be or
mhm,
not. And like, yeah, his creatures are brilliant, man.
mhm.
Like, he's got like a really imaginative perspective when it comes to design. And yeah, I really enjoy his creature designs, and yeah, and like just the way he renders his worlds. I mean,
The
it's just
cityscapes, yeah, the landscapes,
beautiful, man. Like,
mhm.
oh my god. Yeah.
Very fantastical. You know what I mean? It has more of a, how sci-fi is very sometimes cold, linear, very architectural kind of like drawing feel,
Utilitarian.
utilitarian, but this one's got more of a whimsical feel to it. Like, uh, it has its own flavor. It yeah,
Yeah,
it's really cool.
at least it dips into the European side of stuff,
Yeah,
man. Because he's
yeah.
got, like I said, there's some Bilal, there's definitely some Mobius at play,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
some I saw some Paul Pope too, with like the
Yeah.
Inquisitor guy, kind of reminded me of some of the characters from THB. So yeah, dude, like I just look at this book and I just see um creative team at their prime, just
Oh yeah.
telling a perfect story. Like, I'm
Hmm.
really excited to see where this goes, and the fact that it's like a really cool hard boiled crime drama at the heart of it is what really has me super hyped for it as well, man, because that's kind of become my favorite type of storyline lately. So
and the lettering's great in it too. You know, I mean everything's nice. Like Benzizi does the chapter breaks,
Oh
the
yeah, I didn't.
logo. It's all the present. It's almost a perfect presentation, right? I mean, it's hard to knock anything on this book. Fantastic opening issue for the next story within the Little Bird universe. I mean, any fan of Little Bird, I think you'll be more than happy with this. You'll be
And
very
even if
very
you
happy.
haven't never read Little Bird, don't be afraid to check this book out because it's so very different from Little Bird at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. It follows a different character. I don't know. So far, there's one reoccurring character, and I think the one at the end might be the main one of the any. I don't know. We haven't seen. It's kind of they're in disguise, so I think that might be one of the characters in the storyline from Little Bird. So, but I mean, you won't be lost, right? It's telling Max's story, who had a very small part in the first. In the first, he's a very minor character in the little. Might almost say even very minor, but he's more of a minor character in the Little Bird book. But he's going to be the main protagonist in this one, it seems. So yeah, so it should be fun.
And he's pretty fun to watch, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
poor bastard. But yeah,
yeah. Gets smacked. Gets he goes. Hey, he gets he's. Darcy puts him through the ringer in this first issue, anyway. Good stuff. It's good stuff. And thank you to Darcy for sending us. This is an advance review copy that he sent us. The book will be dropping on June 5th. It'll be hitting comic shops June 5th. So you'll be able to go to your comic shop and pick it up on June 5th. There's one
there's
variant.
something going on the day before that, though, right, Joe? Like,
Yeah, yeah. We there's something cooking up the day before. Let's see. What is it? Oh, here it is. We're gonna have Darcy coming on June 4th at 4 p.m. East, 3 Central, and 1 Pacific Standard Time. He'll be coming on the show to talk about this book and just his work in general in comics. And like any other interview, we'll probably go off on tangents and talk about other stuff. But he'll be coming on the show, so we're hyped for that. We've love Little Birds, so getting him on the show is going to be great.
oh, and Lotus Land, we already did a hot flash for that.
For that one.
We gotta finish that up and actually probably do like a proper review for it. Do like
Yeah,
a
yeah, that just finished up a little while back.
'cause that one was another little hard boiled crime drama set in
Yep.
like pretty cool sci-fi landscape, and I really enjoyed the what we read of that so far. So
Mhm. That came out on for Boom Studios, that one. So yeah, so we'll have Darcy on June 4th, which is awesome. Awesome. Great get. Great get. So we have some other creators that we'll be announcing in the same ilk of Sean and Darcy. Some well-established creators will be coming on the show within the next couple months. So we'll be announcing these things as we go along. And well, any last thoughts on the metal, precious metal?
no, but I forgot to mention one thing about Bear Pirate Viking Queen. Like the first words of dialogue in the book is "How do we get here?" which I thought was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, yeah. That's true. I saw that too. Yeah. How do we get here? So yeah, we should have just blown it up. And that's a few because what was it? Deadly Class. He had a part where he's like, "How to get here?" when he does the Vegas
Yeah.
binge. Yeah. Mm, yeah. Oh. Read the book. You'll know how he got there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And tomorrow we have an afternoon episode. We're coming back with another Sunday spank, and we'll be doing East of West. We're going to be doing the 3 deluxe hardcovers. So tomorrow will be the first hardcover, year 1. I guess they called it. That's what they called the first deluxe. They called it year 1. That'll be tomorrow at 2 p.m. East, 1 Central. And if you're Spanky will be there. Matt from the N Pod, he's the one who joins us. His nickname is Spanky. So it'll be at 7 British time. Yeah. East of West, man. Woo.
Yeah, it's been a fun reread, man. Like I've been really enjoying going back through it. Yeah, because it was my favorite comic book for a while. So I mean, it still kind of is, but like,
Yeah, modern classic, man. Modern classic. We were talking about modern classics one time. I think that definitely fits the bill for a modern classic.
it personifies it, man. Kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Even Pat, I started reading it. She read it and she couldn't stop. Like
Yeah.
she went through the whole thing like with me. We almost read it like simultaneously, and she went through the whole thing almost as quickly as I did. All 45. I think it took us 2 weeks. We went through all 45 issues in 2 weeks, or 45, 46 issues. Yeah, it was good. Loved it.
So yeah,
And
that's what we got going on though.
yeah, we're going to be diving into it a little deeper tomorrow.
And then, do we got anything next week planned yet, or are we just gonna?
Uh, we don't, but I was thinking we could do a little Kickstarter episode. Maybe do a Kickstarter roundup of like Kickstarter books we've backed, and you know, my battery was almost dead. I almost went out.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you
Yeah,
got to
plug it
remember
in.
to plug that sucker
Yeah, I
in.
forgot to plug it in before when we went live. Yeah, so we'll be doing. I was thinking we could do that. Just pick a few of our Kickstarter, because those are the books I tend to neglect quite a bit. And never read it. What, the East of West?
Damn, dog.
Okay, you've never read East of? Oh my God.
You might need to get on that. Like,
Yeah.
it's very, very good, man. That's all I'm.
Yeah,
Especially if you like the books we talked about tonight, man. Like, it kind of fits into like the same category as almost all of them. You know what I mean? Like,
dystopian sci-fi with a Western twist, though.
and some fantasy thrown in for good measure
Fantasy,
sometimes too.
yeah, fantasy in there too. Yeah, it's got a. That's one thing. East of West is a fucking blender of genres. I mean, but it's and blended so well to make this the most tasty fucking margarita. What's the blender drink? Is it margaritas or is it?
Yeah, margarita, right?
Yeah, East of West is like a great margarita, man. Good stuff. It's tasty.
All right, yeah. That's what we got going on tomorrow, and then yeah, we'll keep you informed of what we got going on next week. Probably,
Either I don't know if we'll do a Tuesday episode and just skip straight to. Anyway, we'll see.
maybe we'll do an open mic night. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we did one.
Mm.
I don't know, man. Maybe join us a little bit on tomorrow morning, man. Like we'll only be talking about the first book, so that's a pretty good intro to it. But yeah, I highly recommend it, and we'll get more into that if you're there tomorrow. So
Yeah.
That's our show for tonight. You guys take it easy, y'all.
Have a good weekend.